Players practice receiving passes and maintaining possession in this game called Back to You. Use cones to create two square spaces about 2 yards apart. Here's how it looks. Divide players into groups of 5. Assign a 1v1 matchup to each square. One player with a penny, the other without. The other 3 players form a triangle around the square, each with a ball.
He needs to do 1 touch from everybody of you. Bam!
On your call, the player on offense must get free of the defender, receive a pass, and use only 1 touch to pass it back.
Nice first touch. Nice first touch.
If they receive all 3 passes successfully, they get 3 points and switch roles. If the defender intercepts the ball, they swap with the player who lost possession. Here, we're looking for passes with distance. The open pass might not be available right away, but it's usually worth the wait.
Don't be in a rush. You will find the right moment because he's gonna show you when it's the right moment. Well done. Good movement, Jordi. Excellent.
Players practice field awareness and precision passing in this game called the Fiesta. Use cones to create a large square space. Here's how it looks. Divide players into teams of 4. 1 red, 1 blue, plus 4 jokers or neutral players. Send 1 joker to each side of the square. The teams play 2 simultaneous games of 2v2, with the neutral players available as passing targets.
There is 1 game here. 2 blue versus 2 red. And we will have another game here. 2 blue and 2 red. It's perfect, no?
On your call, the 2 matchups play simultaneously, one going up and down the field, the other going side to side.
Let's see how do you use your space. Red against blue. Con ellos dos. Jueguen.
The teams with possession score a point every time they pass to a joker. When recovery teams get possession, they try to do the same.
Why do we put everybody in the same space? We have to all the time be watching, because if not, we're gonna crash. We know it's difficult.
A soccer field gets crowded with just 1 game going on. Adding another creates chaos. This helps players develop better field awareness and stay alert for obstacles and opportunities. Players go 2-on-1, then head-to-head in this game we call Last Player Standing. Place cones to mark a rectangular space with a goal on one end. Use more cones to create 4 zones. 1 wider zone with 2 halves, and 1 narrower zone, also divided in half. Here's how it looks. Divide players into 2 teams of 4, plus 1 goalkeeper. Place 1 defender in each zone, and place 2 attackers in each of the larger zones, 1 ball per pair.
2 separate fields. Son 2 juegos divididos. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
On your call, the 2 attackers in each zone work together to get past the single defender and into the next zone, where the first attacker to advance, the last player standing, takes on that zone's defender 1-on-1.
Well done, Jeremy. 1 versus 1 now.
And tries to score.
Oh!
Here, the key for attackers is to find and use space, spreading out to make it harder on the single defender.
The people with ball, are we gonna use the space? Are we gonna go close? Now, it's easy or it's difficult for him? ¿Es fácil o difícil? Es fácil. What do I have to do? How can I help Jeremy? ¿Cómo puedo ayudar a Jeremy? Using the space.
This means players in possession constantly shifting positions to create passing lines for each other and the right opportunity for one partner to slip into the next zone where it's 1-on-1. But they'll have to move quickly to take their shot.
A goal! 1, 2, 3, Barça!
Get the ball from one side to the other and through the bonus zones in between in this game called the Gauntlet. Use cones to create a rectangular space. Divide it into 2 narrow scoring zones on each side and a wide playing area in between. Then place 2 small squares towards the middle of the playing area. Here's how it looks. Divide players into teams of 4, plus 2 jokers or neutral players. On your call, the team with possession must make it from one side of the field to the other without losing the ball. If they do, they score 3 points. Along the way, they get a bonus by sending the ball into one of the two smaller squares for 1 extra point. Jokers can help receive passes and pass the ball, but they cannot score.
Neutrals, the neutrals don't score.
Here, teams must be strategic with their positioning. They can move back and forth across the field for 3 points, or they can boost their scores by making detours into the small squares for 1 point. With scoring zones spread out throughout the entire field, players with possession will need to decide whether they're better off dribbling to a nearby zone or passing to an open teammate. This game simulates the quick decision-making needed in an actual match, finding efficient ways to move the ball that set the team up for success. Like this. Players practice 2v1 situations in this game called Passing Through. Use cones to make a rectangular space. Divide the space into 3 zones. 2 zones on the ends and 1 in the middle. Here's how it looks. Pick 2 to 3 defenders and assign them to the middle zone. Divide the rest of the group into pairs lined up along the 2 end lines, each with a ball. On your call, each pair has to make it across the field, passing the ball back and forth as they go. But in the middle, the defenders are free to try and recover the ball. Every time a pair makes it to safety, they get a point. If they lose the ball, the player who lost possession swaps with the defender who recovered it on the next round.
Change, no problem, cambiem.
Here, players discover new ways to approach one of the most common offensive situations in soccer, the 2v1. 2 attackers working together to get past 1 defender.
Vale, muy bien.
Players practice passing with intention in this game called Through and Through. Use cones to make a rectangular space. Then, spread about a dozen mini goals throughout the space using 2 cones for each. Here's how it looks. Divide players into 4 teams of 2, plus 4 jokers or neutral players. The teams play 2 simultaneous games of 2v2, with the neutral players available as passing targets.
Pink team against blue team, green team against red team. The objective, your goal, is to make passes through these little goals.
Every time a player passes the ball to their teammate by sending it through a mini goal, they score a point. But keep track of which goals they've already used.
One thing, you cannot score twice in the same goal. So if you score on this goal, then you cannot come back and score again here, okay?
Dribbling through a mini goal is also worth 1 point. This game focuses on both the physical and the mental side of soccer. Each time they receive a pass, players will need to decide whether they're better off passing or dribbling the ball. The right decision is whatever sets their teammate up for success against the defender.
3, 2, 1, vale! Campeón, campeón! Has comenzado a ganar.
Players learn to move the ball as a team in this game called the Big Finish. Use cones to create a rectangular space with a goal on one end. Then, divide the space into a wider zone further from the goal and a narrower one in front of it. Finally, place 3 cone gates along the edge. Here's how it looks. Pick 5 possession players, 4 recovery players, and a goalkeeper.
The red team has to score goal. We will start the red team, all the team here.
To start, all 5 possession players face off against 3 defenders in the wider zone.
2, 3, 4. Buena, 5. Perfecto, sigue.
Once they complete 5 passes, the last 2 players to touch the ball can advance to the next zone where the 4th and final recovery player is waiting to take them on 2v1.
The only way to get to the goal is through the small goals.
Once the possession players get the ball past the defender and through a cone gate, one of them is free to finally take on the goalie 1v1 for the big finish.
Oh, muy bien.
With the numbers on their side, It's up to the attackers to seek out passing lines, setting their teammates up in the open field.
Where all the reds are? Here. Where is the free space? There. Juga. Ale!
Pass the ball to claim your territory in this game called Divide and Conquer. Use cones to make a square space. Then mark off 2 diagonal lines to create 4 triangles. Here's how it looks. Divide players into 2 teams of 3 plus 4 jokers or neutral players. The 2 teams face off 3v3 in the square. The jokers stand outside the square, 1 to a side.
The objective is to make 3 passes inside 1 triangle. Come on, play!
Every time a team completes 3 consecutive passes inside one of the 4 triangles, they get a point. Both teams should use the jokers to their advantage. A pass to them counts towards one of the 3 in a row. This game is all about maintaining possession.
Where is the free space? Where is the free space?
In order to do so, players should try to stay in constant motion, setting their teammates up with as many clear passing lines as possible to keep the ball away from defenders.
If we are all inside the same triangle, maybe we don't have enough space. Okay? So let's find the balance between spreading out and playing closer.
The 4 triangles aren't very big, so players will need to think about where they position themselves in order to free up space. Too much crowding and the ball won't have anywhere to go.
Bravo, bravo! Well done, Jeremy, good pass!
Players practice getting the numbers on their side in this game called the upper hand. Place cones to create a rectangle with a goal on each end. Then use cones to divide the space into 2 halves and 3 vertical zones, 2 narrow outer zones, and 1 wider zone in the middle. Here's how it looks. Divide players into 2 teams of 4, 2 goalkeepers and 2 jokers or neutral players. The 2 teams play 4-on-4 in the wider zone, while each joker plays in an outer zone, following the movement of the ball to support the team with possession.
Try to use neutral players to create superiorities.
Once a team has a numerical advantage in their half, what Barça calls creating superiority, they can shoot to score. Here, players discover how to create passing lines that allow them to outnumber their opponents near the goal. It's all about field awareness, and players should adjust their strategies based on how much space is available.